Welcome, everybody. Thank you for listening to me. Or thank you for putting me on in the background. I don't know what you're doing with this thing. I don't know what. Oh my God, this doesn't look that good. This is what Louis Schaffer is like at home. This is what you ladies would get if you had Louis Schaffer. It's a disappointment. No, this doesn't look that good. But all right, this is the best I can do. Thank you very much. I'm funny. I hope I'm funny. I'm gonna try to keep this you keep this humorous. We're doing this for look at my hair. At least I have hair. At least I have some hair. I don't have enough hair. I've got enough hair. I've got enough hair. I've spent my entire life worried about my hair. Thank you very much. So, is anybody on this? One person is here. So uh let's just keep. I'm gonna have a glass of water, and we're gonna start. Who is here? Please tell me who is here. This is a little different time. I don't know whether this is the right time. Can you hear me? The Jedster. Hey, Lewis. Hey, Jed. How are you doing? Could you tell me? Can you hear? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Um, it's 1 o'clock now because my friend Doug is in town. I actually have a friend. I think he's my friend. I hope he's my friend. I don't know if Med can have friends. Darkman. Hey, Lewis. It's Cam Keating. Yes, I can hear you. Okay, so we're doing great. So tonight's going to be a bit different, which is before I was looking at what everybody was writing, which I thought was really gotcha, says Judels. Hi, Jude. Good to see you. We can hear you. That's an amazing. And I'm not taking off my shirt, and my shirt looks a bit dirty, but I'm not taking it off. I don't even know whether this is a good one or not. But what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna see if I can just talk because I listened to myself yesterday's show, and I don't, I don't I don't know what this thing is all about. This is basically punishment for me not being on TV. If I got a phone call from somebody, if they gave me a phone call, um, then to be on TV, then I wouldn't be doing this. Then you wouldn't have to be listening to this. Hold on, I'm going to turn the lights on. See if this thing works. See if that thing works. How does that look? Is that too bright? I think it looks all right. I can't tell. And then, I mean, everything is a bit backwards, except this is not backwards. I don't know why this says Louis Schaffer on Twitter. I took the boo Paul Cox. I don't want Paul to get carried away and think I'm on the warpath with Paul, which I am not. I am a good buddy. I'm not a good buddy of Paul. I'd like to be a good buddy of Paul. Hey Joe, how are you? MC, where's MC from? You're new to this thing. Where's MC from? Lewis, we're not here. I need to dress, Lewis. You're the funniest man not currently on TV. I'll take that as a compliment. There are lots of great comedians who are not on TV, so I'll take that as a compliment. And today is Sunday. It's Father's Day, and my in Spain, MC's in Spain. Can we give him more specific locations so we can imagine what your weather is like? Heather McKee, hi Lewis, happy to see you and hear you. Thank you, ladies. Thank you, ladies. Well, I'm glad to be here. Anyway, today is Father's Day. Father's Day. If you're here, just sign in, please. Or just tell me you're here. It's hot. So it's hot, I guess, all in Spain. I'm going to guess you're in the southern part of Spain. But it's hot everywhere, probably in Spain. I don't know, where are you from? Down there in Malaga, near Malaga. That's my guess. Anyway, so happy Father's Day to everybody. Not that fathers need a day. They need a day for people to say, "Hey, fathers are important," and we are important. So fathers are important. I think, I don't know where, but one son of mine is in Bristol. Maybe his mother said, "Hey, it's Father's Day. Be nice to your father and go see." But no, I'm going to go see my friend Doug. And I hope. Maybe, I don't know what Doug is doing with his kid. Where is his kid? Maybe he's got only one kid. I've got two kids. Okay. What did Jonathan get you for Father's Day? Hello, says the Jedster. Lynn Carson says hello from Scotland. So that's the opposite of Spain. Though they always go, it's hotter today in Scotland than it is in Spain, which is ridiculous because it can be hotter any place, any part of the world than anything like that. It's interesting. Rosalie Muir is here. This is a much better time. Okay, because we're working on the time, but it's a better time for Sunday. Remember, a lot of people who know me in England recently know me from being on the TV, and the TV was late at night. And so this is like the opposite of late at night. This is 12 hours earlier or 12 hours later. So happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day. It's important we have Father's Day because we need children to fight the wars to get to die for us. I've been watching a video on this. Is this a bit too bright? Is that a bit too bright? I've been watching a video about this. This guy, what altist, Simon Arnold. Hello, Simon. It is refreshing and genuine, sunny, Caithness, Scotland. Looking forward to your marathon show. I love Scotland. My kids are half Scottish. Their mother was beautiful and from Scotland. At times, she was beautiful. And then she stopped being beautiful to me because she was yelling at me all the time. So, ladies, if you want to be beautiful, don't put on any lip. You can put on lippy, maybe a little bit of lippy. Be nice to men. That's all men say. Chat. Plus, hit the like button to help Lewis. Yes, that's great. Hit the like button. We got 22 people watching this already, which is brilliant. So happy Father's Day. That's number one. I joked. I said Jonathan was my son. I mean, he could be my son if he's a very good kid, Jonathan. Very, very helpful child. And very, very bright. And so he could be. He's similar to my oldest son. I'm not going to mention his name. Cloudy in Portsmouth, so not sunbathing. So you've got me. This is what you need. This is why cloudy weather is good for love, because otherwise they're out in the sun sunbathing. Look at that there. Look at that. Can you see that there? Can you see that? It doesn't look that way when I look straight ahead. I should put on makeup. I've got a fancy camera up there. It's a Logitech. I paid £15 for it. My ex-girlfriend sold it to me. She found it in the street and then she sold it to me. So that's the first thing is happy Father's Day. Happy Mother's Day. You can be happy without children. Okay. You can probably be just as happy without children, but we need children. A friend of mine asked me to do kind of a wedding video for another gay marriage. And I'm not against homosexuality. I'm in favor of love, but we need children. And the problem with women is that they need a lot of love and a lot of attention. And when you're off having male gay sex, that's at least one woman who is not getting the love and attention that she wants. Am I right, ladies? You need a lot of attention. I didn't realize that. You need a lot of attention because when men first meet women, the men, unless they're a Chad, and I was never a Chad, you have to pay a lot of attention to them to convince them to like you. You got to buy them stuff. Not that I ever bought any girls anything. Very, very cheap, extremely cheap, and broke too. It's like, what am I doing? And I don't know what to buy you. Okay, what is a Chad? A Chad is a very handsome Anglo-Saxon white guy, basically, is what a Chad is. A Tyrone is a very handsome black guy. And I don't know what a nice looking Spanish guy is, but in every culture, you've got really great looking people. Not every culture, every race, although I don't really believe in races that much, whatever, somebody really good looking. I would say that I'm not going to say whether I'm good looking or not, but when you're really good looking, you don't have to be as nice to women as the ugly ones do. They will like you immediately. They'll go, great. It's like they'll like you. But if you're not that good looking, you've got to pay a lot of attention. So guys I think that they're not that interested in me. And then what happens with women is they just turn. They just decide we love you. And when a woman loves, there's no greater love than a woman's love. Rory is late. I'm sorry, Rory. I wished everybody a happy Father's Day. And Um, it's so that's what I think about women is that women need a lot of love, at least a lot of love and attention. You think that they don't, but they do. They want they're going to give you love, but they need a lot of love. They need a lot of love, and there's lots of times when because they women are the more. I don't care if you call this misogynistic. This is not misogynistic. I'm just saying that it could come across as misogynistic. Is that women like chaos? Men like a quiet life. Basically, they like to chase girls, but that's on their own time. With women, they like to. Okay, Peter Baisley. Oh my God, my old friend Peter. Hey, Peter, how are you? How do you make a woman happy? I leave her alone. That's the old Louis Schaffer joke. This is my friend Peter. I just saw a picture of you, Peter, and was thinking about you. Thank you for listening to me. This is a bit weird. Big Steve is fat, and we're going to talk about being fat because if I can help the world, I can help you not lose weight. You might not need to lose weight, but be thin and fit. I'm not saying that I'm thin and fit. I am thin and fit. Can you see this? Can you see this? This is another day. Look at this is going on. It's a mess. Um, yeah, because being thin is so important. So important. Okay. How do you make a woman happy? With humor and nice. How do you make a woman happy? I mean, obviously, they want a really good looking guy. Most men don't think that that's the case, but it is the case, and that's what people are finding out. They believe in it's called the black pill, where a woman looks at a guy, and if he's great looking, but the problem with most men is they're not that great looking. And there's only 2 or 3, 4, 5% of the men who are great looking, but before that, then men are not that interesting. Money. I mean, these are the jokes I used to tell. I said, how do you make how do you make a woman, laugh? Money. Um, I don't know. I don't even remember the joke. The truth is that women like a man with money. They like a man with money, but whenever you see a man with money, he's making a woman laugh. A woman without money is not going. I don't even know what I'm saying now. I'm just shocked that my friend Pete Baisley is here. I have not seen him in so many years. We've had the COVID problem and the whole thing, and then the Louis Schaffer problem, and I'm just trying to, be all right. Or not try to. I am all right. I'm trying to make people like me. You make me cry laughing, and you've never paid me. Okay, well that's good. That's good. Okay, maybe you should pay me. Oh, speaking of pay, I'm not saying you should pay me, Joodles. I'm not interested in this. I am interested in my what is it? Not Patreon account. My Patreon, like a Patreon account. It's Louis Schaffer. If you want to send me some money, this is the bad part. I don't think you should send me any money. I don't think this is worth any money until we're great. Until we're great. Lynn Carson. Hey, Lynn. So we've got 30 people watching. That's a lot of people because it's a Sunday. I don't know. Are you outside? These are the questions I have to ask you. Patreon, yeah. And intelligence so helps. The truth is that women would like a good-looking man. The Patreon is too deep. Stick a 3-pound option in, and you'll get loads more. That's a good sign. Okay, I actually started that about 8 years ago, and I have not gotten it. I've gotten 10 pounds or 100 pounds. One person has given me any money. I'm not. What do you call a broke Jew? Louis Schaffer. So don't think that I'm doing this for the money, but that's a good idea. I'm going to write it down. I've actually got a workbook to help me. I'm taking this professionally, which is a 3-pound Patreon option. Okay, we're going to do that. So with women, I know women say what you like. You don't know what you like. You want it all. That's nothing personal. Women want it all. So if you're ugly, they'll want you to be beautiful. If you're fat, they'll want you to be thin. If you're thin, they say, you're going to run away from me. You're too, do I prefer older or younger women? I prefer at this age, I've learned my lesson. Okay. I was very popular with my mother's carers. They laughed at my jokes, and I was very popular discussing my health. Yeah. Yeah. Your mother's carers, basically. I fell in love with my aunt's carer because my aunt was dying, and my aunt died, and it was horrible. and she died, and I just maybe because she was taking care of my aunt. I mean, not that I didn't take care of my aunt, but she was taking care of my aunt. Okay, tell people about Apple Pay. Menro, let them know that they now take 30%, so you don't want anyone to pay for your Patreon with that. Okay, tell them at Apple Pay. What does that mean exactly? Can you explain that? Menro is a person. Oh, Menro. Where's Menro? Did I miss Menro? So what are you saying there, Joodles? We're working on all this thing. It's not gonna be that interesting. It's not gonna be Menno is a person. You're talking to Menno. Menno, let me know. Who is Menno? If it's a person, is he related to you? Anyway, so if you want to see a really funny comedian, Pete Baisley, really funny, and we worked together many years ago in London when I was a professional comedian, or trying to be a professional comedian, or whatever I do for a living. So that's what I'm saying about women. Women are they're difficult, but they're brilliant. So if people sub to your Patreon and pay with Apple Pay and told them, okay, Patreon takes 30% of your payment. You mean Apple Pay takes 30% of your payment, or Patreon takes 30. So how would people should people use that, or should they use very funny, and very good looking, and just a great Englishy type person? Okay, so should they use YouTube? What is that called? I wrote it down. What it's called? The monetization, the affiliate link, the membership. Should they use membership? Just pay with a bank card, not Apple Pay. Okay. I don't like talking about this because this is not worthy. I don't know if anybody is liking this. If we were in an audience and people were having a good time, I'd say maybe. I've never been financially successful. It's a disappointment. My ex-wife, she lost the love for me, basically. That was one of the reasons that she lost the love for me, because I was like broke. I was broke. Pay with a bank card. And the other reason she lost the love for me is because I lost the love for her. And the reason I lost the love for her is because she lost the love for her. But also because I was so annoying to her. I was so annoying, and she saw me in New York wearing a nice suit, that she thought, "Oh, Lewis, this guy is going to be good," and I wasn't good, and I apologize. I've apologized to her for being a bad. I didn't understand women, and that's the key. The key is you got to understand them. She didn't. You have to understand women. They don't understand men. They go around saying, "Oh, we know everything." Children, they don't know anything. But men, we're supposed to know. Women, they're not like us. And you can't do the things you do with women because they don't like you. Okay. How old are you when you started your comedy career, Jude? Oh, Jude. Who is Jude? Where are you from, Jude? Thank you for coming in, Jude. I was 36 years old. And this guy who I'm seeing today, I hope, he's in town. He's from New York. He was the one who got me started on it, because he told me every single day he bullied and badgered me to go up. Actually, I was living on 62nd Street, to go up to the comic strip and sign up to be a comedian. I didn't know anything about it. I was 36. So this is 32 years ago. I was 36 years old. And at the time, I didn't even know what a joke was. I didn't know how to write a joke. I didn't even, I barely knew what my favorite comedians. I thought I would get up there and just speak, and people would find me funny. And in front of an audience in a room with people, that's not going to work. Maybe it works now because there's no pressure on you. No one's looking at you. You don't feel like you've got to have a good time. You can just sit there. You got, who knows what you're doing in the background. Okay. Jude is from the Isle of Wight, and it's sunny in the Isle of Wight. Isn't the Isle of Wight one of the sunniest places in Britain down there? Southampton down there, the sunny coast. Okay, maybe it's not. Maybe part of the south coast. Which comedians inspired you the most? What inspired me the most? I mean, the people who inspire. Well, inspired is not the same thing as which ones I found funny. I mean, I thought Don Rickles was incredible. Like Joan Rivers, Jackie Mason, all those ones. I grew up in the 1960s. And they were the funniest people. And that was the early days of comedy. And if you want to start comedy, I would go against it. What are you doing for the? Was I doing for the first 35 years? I was being deliriously happy. What was I doing? I was failure at so many things. I mean, up until the time I was 22, I was in education. I was being educated, and then I did this miscellaneous thing, selling advertising space, being an estate agent. I did not make any money. I made money 1 or 2 years in the 1980s. And then I think I've spent more years in bankruptcy, though I do have a full pension. So I want to thank the U.S. government for that, because I was working. But then again, men could work back then. It wasn't like now where it's like we want equality. It was like a man could work. You showed up. Women had to work. When I started, women were starting to work. And but you didn't feel like you were in competition. Well, you kind of did. There were certain fields that were starting to be taken over by women, such as ad sales and real estate. And those are the ones that I went into, because maybe I'm gay. Do I seem gay to you? I'm not gay. I'm a bit of a wuss. I'm a bit of a wuss. So I would say this: it was a better time to be a dude back then, and a better time to be a woman. A woman didn't have to work. Like, work is so great. Like, anybody says that work is a good thing. Okay. You could interview me, Jude. Yeah, this is okay. So it wasn't that great for women. It's way worse now for men and women. Well, maybe it's not worse, but it's way worse now. Women want to have children, and so do men. But you're told you got to go to work, and women are told, I'm going to work till I'm 30, and then I'll get married and have kids. And then 30 comes, and you got to find a guy, and you don't fall in love as quickly as you used to. And the guys, they don't, they're scared of you. I'm scared of every single one here. We got 30 people watching. Okay. I'm scared of that. So that's why it was easier for me to get a job. I just thought I was going to get a job. I thought I was going to do stuff. I didn't even know what I was going to do. And then I was unhappy. In 1936, it was 1993. So we had sort of the Great Recession, which wasn't that great, but it was a bit of a recession. And then in 1993 was the first Iraq Gulf War. I don't know which war that was. That was the war with, what's his name? With that horrible globalist, George Bush Sr. They're globalists. George Bush Jr., globalist. And we shouldn't have been in Iraq. The reason we went to Iraq is we thought we could change the world. Okay. When you were in the States, did you always live in New York? I lived in LA for a year, and that was great. It was great to live in LA. It was great. I don't know what LA is like now. It probably is not as bad as it used to be. It's ironic, because I remember when I was a kid, everybody was leaving New York to move to LA. I remember the Johnny Carson program moving out to LA, and New York was dead. And that's when I moved to New York in 1980. And they were very dark times. George Bush, whatever it was, Abe, whatever. What did they say? George, go broke. I don't remember what the saying was. When Foster Brooks roasts Rickles as lover to Rickles' wife, he says he has eaten all of his cheeses. It's art. I don't know if that was true, but Foster Brooks, he was an inspiration, actually, because he was a stutterer. And he said, what do I do to not stutter? I'll pretend that I'm an alcoholic on the TV. He couldn't do that now. Now he's being cruel. It would be, what do they call that? Intersectional war, is that an alcoholic is being bullied by a stutterer. Who would win in that case? Boo to the globalists, Leslie. Thank you very much. Boo to the globalists. Okay. Someone has to fight for the Angles, the Saxons, the Jutes, anybody who loves England as it is now. The Irish, the Celts, the Cornish, someone has to fight. And or the Nigerians or the Ghanaians who are living here, been living here for years. It's not a racial thing. But somebody has to fight for the people living here. We don't just let in people who hate our country. Even though you let me in and I wasn't the big England fan. I thought England was going to be totally different than what it was. And it's really good right now. Okay. It's not good right now. It's going to be good again. It's going to be good again. Let's put our fingers crossed. Maybe it's still good. Maybe that the problem is the globalists. I don't want to speak evil about people. So because we're having a very rough world right now, and it's a very very rough world. Click the like button. That would make me happy. Okay. She met a funny comedian. Okay, so we want you in mega. Yeah, I mean I shouldn't be talking about this so much. I mean there are reasons why people are. There's a lot of good in globalism. There's a lot of good, but it's not good for what it is to be English or British or Scottish or Cornish or Kentish or Anglian. It's not that good. I mean, I'm an old school guy. I remember you go to I was down in Central America. You want to see Indians. You want to see people speaking Spanish. You don't want to see like, tourists. Okay. You were a police officer in New York, right? Well, that was just a story. That was a story. So the news is here's the news. You want to hear what the news going on is? Grooming gangs investigation, which is it's absolutely British. They have an investigation for everything. They do not need an investigation. The police you don't need to investigate the police. They have investigation units. They have Congress. They got to fire people. And I remember suggesting that somebody should be fired in this country, and that was considered to be so rude. A government employee should be rude. No, people should be fired. What happened with the grooming gangs? And it's not just the grooming gangs. It's the fact that you can't let millions of people in. Rob B. As an American living in Great Britain, would you rather Britain become the 51st state of the United States or the 51st state rejoined as part of the empire? You do not want America to rejoin us because you would have you'd have no country because America's 6 times as large as Britain. And you don't want those people having 6 times the votes as the British people. Do you agree with that? And it's a fake inquiry, and we know it. It takes 5-6 years, and by that time, people have forgotten about it. This country is so involved in inquiries. It's like the polite way of doing something. I'm an American. I'm against that. Okay. Should you guys join us? No, you shouldn't join us because you have no control over your country. And that was the problem with Europe. Why should you join with Europe when Europe has no control over its borders? You want to? I lock my door at night, and do you lock your door at night? Do you lock your door? Do you lock your door? Of course, you lock your door. Okay, and that's why Britain should be Britain, and that's why Britain should be Britain, and including Scotland. Absolutely, it's all rotten to the absolute core. You hate to say it, but maybe it's not. Maybe, there's still so much good in this country. I mean, it's still so much good, but, you don't suddenly let in 20 million people without checking who they are. And even if you do check who they are. And I grew up in New York City. I was born in New York City. I grew up right outside New York City in a place called Great Neck, and a lovely town. But New York City, what happened with New York, because we live in there's a free immigration policy, New York got invaded. Basically, America took over Puerto Rico. And they just, and in 1965, not even 1965, they changed the immigration. They let anybody come from different countries. And now they're New Yorkers, but it takes a very long time for anybody to get used to living in a strange place. You come from a Caribbean island, and now suddenly you're in New York. You're a sharecropper in the South, and suddenly you're in New York. New York used to be one of the safest cities in the world. And then it suddenly become problematic. Now it's less problematic. Now I think there's less murders in New York than anywhere. But it's been 50 years. You saw the movie West Side Story. You saw the movie when this happens, and suddenly people are fighting with each other. I mean, if you're going to let people move in, the people who are living there have to decide. But unfortunately, it's the rich people who've decided who's going to live in this country. And it was just as the rich people who decided who's going to be living in New York. And it was like mayhem and chaos. It was such incredible crime. Does that sound horrible? I don't want to sound horrible. I'm not anti. I mean, I benefit from immigration. I've benefit, but what do you guys think? I don't want anybody to think that I'm anti. I don't think people should be allowed to move to wherever they want to move to. If this is your home, we've got city-states, not city-states. We've got states. We've got ethno-states. And if the people don't want anybody moving in, they shouldn't move in. Every country should have borders, like you said. You should have doors on your house to let in who you like and keep out who you don't. Right. And then we're told, and I got 2 kids. I'm looking after my kids. I want them to be taken care of. Not taken care of. I want them to have a hope and a survival thing. But when someone moves in from another country and they're speaking another language, they're not my kids. Okay. So you said Britain wasn't what you expected. What were you expecting? Why was it different? I was expecting the way Britain sells itself, like it sells itself like it's an organized, very stiff upper lip, top hat, umbrella type place. This is when I was a kid. Now I don't think people know that. Like the NHS, how amazing is the NHS? And then you get here, and the NHS is it's not that great, but it's bad in America too. So I'm not saying it's good. Allopathic medicine is really bad, but here it's really bad because it's centralized. So that's what I expected. I expected it to be neat and organized. I didn't realize that the country was in the process of destroying all the old stuff in it. I thought it was kind of preserved. You had that Greenbelt law, which is the best law that I ever heard, because I grew up in the suburbs and you used to go for miles and miles. They were just building on cornfields, cutting down woods. You go to America now, it's horrible. And I thought Britain didn't have it. And now they're getting rid of that. So that's not good. Okay. Crime stats, 50. Okay. The world is a zoo. Thank God for the oceans. Hi, Mark. How are you? For the oceans, as they keep us apart. You can't let the wolves into the penguin enclosure. Okay. Maybe you're living in the wrong part of Britain, Lewis. You know what? That's true. There's some beautiful parts, and I've been all over Britain. There's some beautiful parts of Britain, but they want to put. I just drove from Birmingham, and they're putting up housing in the middle of the fields there too. Okay, so that's quite possible. I'm living in the wrong part of Britain. Okay, we should stop building buildings in this country. You don't need any buildings. The number one thing we need to do to stop the quote unquote housing crisis. But listen to what Dominic Frisby says. But the most important thing you should do is stop immigration and stop divorce. People should not be allowed to get divorced. You should be happy. I'm living in my own house here. Okay. My wife has her own house. I mean, that's wrong. That's wrong. We should be living together, and I should be loving to her. So we need more love. It all comes down to the death of love. Have I been to Lincoln? I've been to Lincolnshire. I've been to Boston. I've been to Skegness. Is that in Lincolnshire? What beach towns are there? Have I been to Lincoln? I wanted to go there, I think. That was an old image, Mary Poppins, etc. The bank. Let's go fly a kite. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Boston's a dump. No, Boston was not. It wasn't super great, but it was all right. It was all right. I liked Boston. There are very few places in this country that I don't like. I mean, I live in Nunhead, and Nunhead is getting nicer and nicer, and then all of a sudden it's getting a bit dumpier. There should be free Louis Schaffer bingo cards supplied, but for this podcast, well, you could make one because you could divide everything to 5 different subjects, Jedster. I mean, really. I mean, how many subjects are there that we can discuss? The fact is we need more love. If we had more love, we'd have less divorce. If we had less divorce, we'd have more housing because people would be living together with children or even without children. But now no one's getting married, so every one of those people who isn't married needs a house. So who benefits from the death of love except real estate developments and people who own places because they've got to rent their house. Okay, when they build houses like in Southwark, what they've done to Southwark, which is a nightmare, which is they're building tiny apartment blocks of little tiny houses that barely have room. Maybe they're 1 bedroom. If they have 1 bedroom, you can't have children. If you have 1 room, you can't have a girlfriend living with you because people get on each other's nerves. So they want it deliberately to have independent people. And then they bring people into the country. That is the death of love. Do you agree with me on that, people? Is we need to stop building buildings. We have enough housing. We should, my old joke is, we should let the Germans blow up the houses. They're good at that. Okay, which current comedian makes you laugh the most? Well, it's hard to say because it's like I don't watch that many comedians. I mean, I've been watching. I don't want to say because I like the American style of like just really insulting people racially and the way they looks and everything. I mean, who do I like right now? I don't know. I can't say. Who do you say? Why do I have? What is this Ask Louis Schaffer show? Say who you like. Say I like this person. I like this person. I didn't like any British comedian. Now I do. I like Tim Vine. I like Lee Mack. I like Francis Foster. I like them all. Where's your favorite holiday destination in the USA? For me to go in the USA right now, I like deserts, basically. I don't go to deserts. I never left the house when I was a kid. I mean, we went to summer camp. Lee Mack is really, really good. He was the one who said, "Don't joke about Madeline McCann." And wasn't joking about her. What happened to her was horrific. I was joking about, I don't want to say who I was joking about. You know who I was joking about. Okay. Okay. You think we don't like insulting piss take comedy. Ricky Gervais does it the best. Yes, he does it. He does it very well. He does it very well. There's a difference between the way Americans and the way British people do that. British people, I forgot my entire thing. I like Andrew Lawrence as well, and I like Leo Kearse. I think Andrew Lawrence is brilliant. Is brilliant. Can't beat a bit of Partridge. I worked on a show that he did, and I met him. And there's a very Englishy style, of comedy. He's not taking the piss take. He's not taking the piss take out of anybody. Partridge. I went to see him. A friend of mine wrote for him. Who I hope he's not dead. Ricky Gervais is great. Traveling up to Liverpool to see him. You traveled up there to see him, yeah. He basically embarrassed comedians because he wasn't a stand-up comedy, and he just says, "I'm going to do a stand-up comedy show." It's not that hard to be a stand-up. I mean, it is hard to be a stand-up comedian. Weirdly, ended up loving the U.S. version of The Office more than being a huge Ricky Gervais fan. And the reason why people like American comedies is because there are likable characters. It's like absolutely fabulous. No one was likable on the show. And in The Office, people weren't that likable in the English Office, I think. I like you. Okay. All right. I love New York. Sailed there in the QE2. That's a dream that I have. Past the Statue of Liberty at 5 a.m. Broadway shows were amazing. And everyone so friendly towards us Brits. Yeah, New Yorkers are great. Real New Yorkers are great. Well, what does a real New Yorker mean? I don't know what it means, but I think New York is great. I'm not saying I like Roy Chubby Brown, but I don't like that they kind of banned him in different places. All the clubs banned him. Chubbs. Who's Chubbs? Anyway, so that's the grooming gangs investigation. We're against investigation. Second thing, I want to talk about the weight situation that we all have. You're all fat out there, probably. I would never tell you that you're fat to your face. The women, especially, because they're sensitive. But we don't have to be fat. We can buy. Bernard Manning was hilarious and still is. He called me. He said I would die skint. This is my Bernard Manning story. We have to lose weight, everybody. We have to. It's not going to make you better looking, but it's going to make you healthy. It might make you better looking. Lewis, this is your fan Bonnie from Toronto, and I'm overweight. It's okay if you say so. Bonnie, you're overweight. You have to lose weight. And then what you're going to do is you're going to download my, what is it called? My Net Diary on your phone. And you're going to keep track of everything that you eat. That's number 2. Okay. Secondly, then what we do is we stop eating carbs. We try to reduce the amount of carbs, and we eat less and less carbs. They're addictive and they're bad. We are not sensitive. We are fierce. You're sensitive because it's unnecessary for you to be fierce. Somebody says to you, hey, do something. It's in your best interest. Oh, you're mansplaining me. You're telling me what to do. So men, do not tell women, don't do what I'm doing right now. I don't know, Bonnie. Have we met Bonnie? Oh, there's Donna Knowlton again. 38 people following us. Apple cider vinegar for weight loss. No. You don't need special tricks to lose weight. Do you need special tricks? You don't need special tricks. You just need to cut your calories, and you need to no sandwiches ever. That's right. Try for no sandwiches. First, start out by having one slice of bread in a sandwich. Don't have a sandwich. Have an open face sandwich. Up the meat. Okay. Dr. Schaffer, this is so important. I mean, really, when I could not, as I said yesterday, I was on, because I was on high blood pressure medication, I had to go have my blood tested, and I wasn't allowed to eat for 12 hours before I took the test. And which means if I slept, I'd have to go to sleep at 10 to wake up at 10. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't. 12 hours, I could not fast before a blood test. 12 hours. And my friend Russ, he goes three days he fasts. 3 days, like literally a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday. Then okay. Am I a blood? Yes. Please be honest, Lewis. Okay. I'm a hypochondriac. I'm not a hypochondriac. I'm a hyperchondriac. I think I'm doing better than I am. So I don't go to the doctors for tests to see that I'm doing badly. I don't say, oh, this is a pain. I've got a this here, that here. I don't do that. Okay. Number one, I never did that. And I should have done that because by the time I changed my diet, okay, Joodles, by the time I changed my diet, I was sick. I was proper sick. I had diabetic level blood sugars. I had psoriasis. I had bleeding gums. I had rotting teeth. I had gout. I had plantar fasciitis. I had full body psoriasis. Okay. What's your feeling about vegans? We're not to eat processed food. And who benefits from a vegan diet? The powers that be. This GAT thing is really bothering. I never had that. Can you see that? Okay. I was a blood donor. You can't see this. I'm not going to say where I went to get my blood taken, but it was the NHS, and they put a thing in, and she said to me, your vein has broken. And I go, what do you mean my vein is broken? You broke my vein. This lady, the nurse, she didn't get the vein in, and this has been going on I've got a bruise here. This means I'm old. I try to be a blood donor because I've got very high blood ferritin, which is alcohol, which was not alcohol, which is iron, which is like rust. Am I a doctor? I don't know if I'm a doctor. I am not a doctor. Of course, I'm not a doctor. I don't believe in doctors. Most of them. Some doctors who go, you know what we were taught was a bunch of lies. The ones who say that and say we got to move on Those are the ones that I trust. Okay. Okay. You're never out of the hospital getting tested though, because when you've got high blood pressure, when you've got kidney failure, which you've had for 18 years, cows are vegans, but their stomachs have 4 parts. We are not cows. We are not cows. We've got an incredibly acidic stomach. It's like 1.5, whatever it is. His veins currently only contain egg yolk. And if someone wants to give me a test, that's what the NHS is good for. It's good for tests. And so I recommend that. Clearly, you're already a dietitian. I am a dietitian because okay. Can you make 2D cartoons? Andrew Lawrence created one for where Jimmy Savile promoted his new tour. I'd like to see that. Okay. What's your feeling about vegans? I'm against veganism completely. Completely. And if you feed your child a vegan diet, okay, I know it's your kid and I'm a libertarian. You should be able to feed your kid what you want to feed. You're killing your kid. How did you get rid of the plantar? I have it. What you do is, this is the thing with plantar fasciitis, is you go on a low carb diet. Low carb cures pretty much everything. Low carb. We're not meant to eat carbs, because what carbs have is they have tons of lectins and oxalates. They've got all the plants. We're not meant to eat plants except fruit. And even fruit, it's a price we pay to survive for the summertime. Low carb, EMB is low carb, low sugar. Okay, I eat the same as you, Lewis. No carbs, no booze, just meat, eggs, and dairy. Thin as a rake. Couldn't put weight on if I tried. I give you a round of applause. It's really hard to lose weight. It's really hard to go from a plant-based diet, which most of us are. We probably eat 80% of our food from plants, to change it. So I am okay. And Susan Stevens says, agree. I'm a fattest. Are you eating fat or are you just fat? I don't believe that you're fat. Okay. I think the biggest joke is they got people to buy boxes of leaves. Well, that's true. And then they get us to smoke cigarettes. I mean, that got us to, but we have to stop eating the plants. Bonnie Schulman, what about supplements, Lewis? We do not need supplements. If you eat an all meat diet, I think you're going to be all right. The only supplement I take vitamin D3 in the cold weather, because I'm from the Mediterranean. I'm not meant to live in this country. And everybody needs to take vitamin 3. And in the summertime, you got to go out in the sun. And I take magnesium glycinate. That's what I recommend. You can go to my website and you buy magnesium glycinate. No, you don't do that. I don't have it. But I'm not selling it there. I drink decaf, that's it. Yeah, I drink coffee, and I'm not saying it's not good for you. I don't think. I think it raises my blood pressure, but I love coffee and I drink a lot. I believe in alternative medicine. Donna, do you? If you ask a question, I want you to tell me what you are thinking. Okay? Because right now we've got 40 people online, and then someday maybe there'll be thousands of people online. How do I get this chat that's on the side of my page to be put on my stream, when the live stream goes live? Not live. Hi, Lewis. Loving this. Great to see and hear you. Are you coming to Edinburgh Festival? I'm not coming this year to the Edinburgh Festival. I'm not quite ready for it. And but I went there for at least 12 20, 15 years. I went there for years and years and years and had a great time. And I really loved it. And my sons are Scottish, and I love the Scottish people. And you should fight to be part of Britain. Fight for the Angles, the Saxons, the Jutes, the Scots, the English, the Angles, whatever it is. Lewis, do you miss the U.S.? I miss the U.S. But I also miss my ex-girlfriend, too. That actually is pretty funny. I miss the U.S., but I miss my girlfriend. I'm going to write that down. I miss the U.S. I miss USA. Also miss my GF and wife. Everybody has good qualities. You, Jared, good to see you. I'll tell you what I'm thinking. Why didn't you tell us earlier what time you'd be on today? Because I didn't know. I thought I'd do in the afternoon. And then my friend Doug, who's not feeling good, or he's feeling good, we were going to meet, and we were going to meet yesterday. And so I'm thinking I'm going I thought I was going to do it at 5 o'clock. I'm sorry. You'll be able to listen to this in full. Croxton. Where's Croxton from? He's somebody new. So glad you're streaming and uploading. I miss headliners and I miss you. All right. Well, I miss you too. I miss being on headliners and I miss you. Where are you from, Croxton? John Cranston. Hi, Lewis. Loving this. Great to see you. Okay. I guess I read that. Where is John Cranston from? Bonnie Schulman, do you miss the U.S.? I do miss the U.S. Do you miss the U.S.? You're in Canada. I drink and smoke, so now I'm feeling so bad. Laugh out loud. I must try harder. Yes, we try hard. It's very hard. Smoking is really hard, but people stop smoking. You know what I ordered? I ordered that book, but it didn't come. I don't know where it came to, but the Stop Smoking Now, whatever that Alan Carr book is. It was very funny. Alan Carr. Did you watch the parade? No, I didn't watch the parade. I didn't watch the parade. I didn't watch the parade. We need Donald Trump to be strong. Donald Trump is our leader. Claire Warren. Where is Claire from? Claire? Carbs, not cards. Carbs are the devil's food. Thanks for another great show, Lewis. Thank you very much. Let's see what's going on here. Yeah, carbs, very bad. Listen, you can be a vegan and watch the show. I just don't think you're doing the right thing, and I don't want you dead. I'm not hoping you die just to prove me right. Though I am concerned about what I'm eating. I eat only meat, and it's really bad. But I also eat about a 50 to 75, maybe more. And basically, I'm averaging about 50, 60 grams of carbs a day. And that's not good. That's not really good. Cranston's from Edinburgh. We got a lot of Scottish people because they're energetic Scottish. There's nothing to do maybe up there because the weather's so bad. But I love Edinburgh. And I remember when I went to Edinburgh, it used to smell of beer, Edinburgh, because there were breweries there. And now there are no breweries as they're importing it from somewhere out in the country. Carbs. Yeah, we got it. Okay. I was hoping you die just to prove me right. I'm not hoping that. I am not hoping you die. I want you to live. Even if you're on carbs. You know what? Carbs are a joy. There's nothing better than a macaroni and cheese. Or I was walking in town and I saw they were selling, what is that called? Rice Valencia. What is that called? That Spanish rice dish. It's amazing. Egg yolks and all. Crikey, you got to live at last. Ian Bunker. Hey, Ian, where are you from, Ian Bunker? You got me live at last. Yeah. Well, you'll be able to watch the entire show. I mean, we've done 44 today on a Sunday at 1 o'clock. Is this a good time? Bagels, am I right? Yeah, that's one of the greatest food ever, bagels. The greatest food. But it's a death food. We're not meant to be eating it. Maybe if we were eating the kind of carbs that the Egyptians ate. Okay? I used to be East Dulwich. Now I'm in Welling. Welling is out there. That's in Welling. Welling, that's near Dartford, right? Okay, it's always a good time. Well, here's the problem with this show. I like doing it. I don't know what I'm offering to you people, but I like it. You're offering something to me. Maybe that's what this is about. You're offering something to me. You're listening to me. You're a good audience. Leslie visited Edinburgh, and did you like it, Leslie? Because some really beautiful places there. Okay. Letters from my mother. That was a show that I did. Thank you, Ian. It was amazing where I read letters that my mother had sent me. She sent me letters. I had about 23 letters. And I said, this is the same length as an Edinburgh show. And so I thought I could do an Edinburgh show where I open these letters. I had not read them before. People thought I had written them like I could actually write letters that good, that I would have the energy to write letters that good. And I read letters from my mother that I hadn't opened because I was living here and I was really okay. So Susan Stevenson says she's a fatophobic. Yes, don't be fat. EMB says, so thank you very much, Ian Bunker, for mentioning letters from my mother. Okay. I was there the night Kitson came on his bike. Yeah, he's a famous person. I had a lot of good friends. Now, could I call Kitson my friend? I hope I could. I don't know. I'm, not invited to the football thing. And neither is, I'm not going to say who else isn't invited, but if you have the wrong view, they don't invite you to play football with them. That's so wrong. Do you have any more film roles? Yes, I've got some film roles in uh, in uh, in in July. In July, like I've got days filming. Okay. Okay. Click all in the subscribe box option to be notified when Lewis goes live. Okay. This is to you guys. Click all. Click all in live box to go live. That's for the viewers. That's for you guys. Okay, we're running out of time. It was lovely from the west coast of Scotland. Where in the west coast of Scotland? I've been over there too. Rainiest place in the world. The amazing relationship between horrible weather and beautiful country and beautiful people. Okay, EMB, I've already done that. Press the bell first. Well, I don't know where the bell is, but press it first. And then Leslie, big up the South Coast, which is also really beautiful. I've been to every one of those, tried to go to every one of those towns. Maybe if my girlfriend, she's not going to come back, but maybe I can get another girlfriend who will go there. I got one of your free Richard Herring DVDs. I gave out Richard Herring DVDs at the Seven Sisters. I was just thinking of Richard Herring. Lovely, lovely. Fab again. Good. Daniel Kitson is unbelievably funny, and he makes every comedian sick. Okay. Give Canada a shout out. Fight for Canadian independence from the Labor, whatever it is, the Liberal government. Fight for a free Canada. Join America. The good parts, not Toronto, but the other good parts, but the good parts. Fab again. Good effort for doing the weekend. Loving it. Okay. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, each and every one of you. We're almost done. We got about 3 minutes to say goodbye. Okay. I think that's pretty much everything. Hit the like button, everyone. There's still a few of you that haven't. Okay. So let's hit the like button. Hit the like button. Thank you very much, Hugh. Hugh. Is it Hugh or you? I pronounce it Hugh, but people have told me like H in this country is Hugh. But I've heard don't do that. Love you lots, Lewis. Thank you, Joodles. Remember, to the women out there, I do not have a girlfriend. I don't necessarily deserve a girlfriend. I don't necessarily want you to have a girlfriend. I mean, I do intellectually, but I don't know emotionally. I don't know if I can handle it. My mother was hard work. So anybody who acts like a woman, I get kind of a reaction to. But I'm a different person now. Do you smoke, Lewis? And your thoughts on it. It's a hard H. Is that like you? I do not smoke cigarettes, though I don't think cigarettes are, I'm against smoking cigarettes. I'm against smoking cigarettes. But if you're going to smoke, don't be fat, because that's what causes cancer. You can live a lifetime and smoke cigarettes if you don't raise your diet, because cancer cells grow with glucose. Okay. Lots of love and a great rest for your day. You know who wasn't here? Lucy wasn't here. But we have Joe here. Susan is here. Joodles is here. Leslie is here. We got lots of beautiful, beautiful women. I'm 68 years old. I mean, maybe I'm not that. I mean, I wouldn't want to touch this. Would you want to touch this? Ooh, it's like, ooh, look at you don't want to look at the thing sticking down. Can you see that? That's horrible. That's horrible. But, you may want to cuddle in the dark. I'll give you a cuddle. Maybe I want to cuddle. And Lucy is going to be mad. Well, I would send her a message myself, but I don't, I can't send her a message. Lucy's going to be mad that you changed the time. I did change the time. I'm sorry. It was either that or not do it at all. I apologize. Okay, what else do I need to say? I'm on Patreon. Pay with a credit card on Patreon if you want to give me some money. It's £5 a month. I don't know. This is not worth £60 a year. Paella. That's exactly right, Susan. Thank you very much. Good paella. That's so good. How could you say no to that? But it's got arsenic in it. There's lots of bad stuff in rice. Don't eat it. So we got Patreon. I think we'll be on tomorrow. Remember, I do my radio show at 5 o'clock tomorrow. They broadcast. Should I do it at 5 tomorrow? Should I do it at 4 tomorrow? Or should I do it at 6? Leslie is 52 years old. Is that what I look like? Or are you 52 years old? So young. So young, 52. That's, you know, I mean, that's brilliant. I know the feeling. I cover my mirrors. Yeah. But maybe if I comb my hair better, I got maybe put cream on it or something. Maybe go out in the sun a bit more. What radio show? But I do my radio show on resonancefm.com. Resonance, 5 o'clock with Paul, the other Paul Hugh, Chinese Elvis. Put these links in the description, and I think you can do join and super thanks when you get at 1,000 subs. Exactly. Join my sub thing so I get 1,000 subs and maybe subs. Steve Pirate, where are you from, Steve? Smoke a bong. Croy Cruxton is 68 years old. Let's go for it. Okay. So where are you from? Okay. If you're gonna smoke, don't be fat. If you're gonna be fat, do not smoke. There's a good rule. Don't smoke. Very bad. And there you go. Susan Carnes. Is Susan Carnes from Australia? Or is that Cairns? Cairns. I wish we were talking to each other. Anyway, sort out a join button. Okay, well, sort out a join button. Okay, a join button. We're going to do all of this stuff. Luckily, only you people are watching, and you seem to be loving. So I don't have any strange people coming on yet. Okay, that's the end. I don't need glasses. I've got a bright light right here. There's a bright light, and that light makes it harder to read. Okay, sorry, I'm 46. I was saying you are 68 years old. 68 years young, not old. Okay, Croxton. Well, 46 is perfect age. Anywhere between any age is perfect. That's what I told the judge. No, any age. Not too young. You don't want to go. I would not go out with a young girl. Not for me. I mean, great for me, but it's not good for you. It's not good for you. And it's not good for me either. Okay, great stream. Okay, round of applause to everybody. I say goodbye. I don't want to hang up. You guys are just so good. Okay, I'm ending the stream. Is that it?